Hey look, it's a video that I started that I didn't sniffle. I didn't sniffle like for the first like sound of the video. So I've tried to make a video game video for a while. And I've just completely and utterly, a whole advertisement sign, utterly failed at it. So I'm gonna try and do one now. I have recently discovered that at least for my play style, there isn't a be-all end-all loadout for combat, and I'm just kind of speeding right now because I'm really not in the mood to go super duper slowly. Like I've learned that NPCs outside of resource extraction sites are just out of conflict zones in general tend to be super duper weak against thermal weapons. Thank you, brain. And I finally found a fixed huge pulse laser, so now I have all fixed weapons, and fixed weapons do more damage than gimbaled weapons. So you know, that's a thing. Watch me eat my words, watch me take forever to kill this guy, if he's even wanted. Because that's what happened on another video I tried to make. I was like, oh, muilti-cannons works just fine, and then I went up against a Corvette, and it didn't work out so well. I wasted like, I hit him like 300 times before I got his shields down. It was ridiculous. It's taking forever. And the one thing, hey, you kind of got to remember is fixed weapons are kind of for a long range type deal. Whereas gimbal, there's more of a short range. Sorry, I'm focusing, firing. He's a miner, I knew it. You know, fixed range is more for long range, and gimbal there is more for short range, whereas people usually get it wrong and they think that gimbals are for people with no skill and fixed are for people with more skill. And you know, it's the elitist mentality or whatever, and that's not really the case. And you also got to take into account the size of ship that the gimbaled weapons are on, and all this other stuff. What's the other thing? The way NPCs are scaled in this game is not actually by ship, but by their combat rank. Like, see, this guy's expert. So you know, he's gonna be like, he's gonna be really easy to take out. Apparently, the way the NPCs scale in this game is, let's say for example, I'm in a Sidewinder. and it's kitted out for combat. You know, it's going to be a very it's going to be a you know, you're not going to see it very often, but you know, let's say I'm in a Sidewinder and it's fully kitted out for combat. If I run into another Sidewinder that's novice, like a NPC that's novice in a Sidewinder, even if he has the same exact loader as I do, his shields will be weaker, his weapons will do less damage, and you know, his hull won't be able to take as many hit points and all that. But if I run into an NPC in a Sidewinder with the same loader that I do, but he's an elite, for example, his weapons will actually do more damage than mine, his shields will be able to take more hits, his hull will be able to take more hits, even if he has the same loadout as me. So, and people love to say that NPCs cheat, but that's just the way this game runs. You know, they're going to be able to do a lot more with their ship than players. And that's just how they make the game challenging. Because you know, if the NPCs had the same limitations as players, I mean, just think how easy it would be to take out an NPC. You know, like it would be ridiculously easy to take them out. And you know, when people don't realize that how the game works, they think taking out NPCs is shameful. Combat logging in this game is shameful, but in reality, it's actually harder to, in some cases, to take out an NPC than it would be to take out a player. If you watch some of my combat videos, you'll see that the NPC. Well, I don't want to go against this gunship. I just want to scan him. You'll see that I'll take out their power source, and then they'll still have a they'll still be able to move around for, you know, 10-15 seconds after their power source is hit, and they won't lose any of their ooh, shit. I don't know if this guy's in a wing or not. What was I saying? This guy's in a wing, and he's in a wing with an assault ship, and I don't want to deal with that. You'll see that they'll also, even at 1% of their power source, they'll be able to recharge their shields, fire all their weapons, and so on and so forth. Whereas if my power source was at 1%, I wouldn't be able to have any of that stuff. Even if my power priorities were set up to everything, to have my shields and all, and my weapons and all that, to be on 1, you know, so that they're always on, you know, I wouldn't be able to do it simply because my power supply wouldn't be able to handle it. Alright, what's this guy firing at? So, oh, where's the Python? Where'd the Python go? There it is. So, in a sense, NPCs do cheat, but they're also a lot harder. Because, like, if I attacked a player in a Python like this, and I took down his shields, then I started attacking his power plant, he, depending on his power priorities, he wouldn't, there's a very good chance he wouldn't be able to fight back for very long. You know, granted, if he had, depending on you know, how good he is at actually fighting, he could turn on me and start firing on me instantly. Woo, plasma accelerator. But the thing is if I started attacking his power plant and it took damage, you know, his power output would be severely you know what I'm trying to say. It wouldn't. His power plant would not be putting out the same amount of power, unlike with an NPC. Lame. I hate boosting in super maneuverable ships. That because when you boost, it actually, you only get a certain maneuverability boost for, you know, so long before you then become super unmaneuverable. He's got a plasma accelerator, so I want to be unpredictable in my movements so that he can't hit me, and I also don't want to get close, even though I am getting close. You know, I want to be able to dodge his plasma accelerators, so to speak. Now, since he's at 0, I've mistaken 0 for 8% before, and it was a little embarrassing. But yeah, it can be increasingly... There's no one around me. It can be increasingly hard to take out an NPC versus a player simply because of the fact that the NPC doesn't actually have the same limitations as a player. Because even if the player has engineers on, you know, has an engineer loadout or whatever, where they have way more power than the ship originally had, or, you know, a class A up above its normal thing, like I think I have a class 6 power plant. Yeah, I have a class 6A, and with engineers you can actually get if you roll the because it's based off like chance, like it's like you roll the dice and that's what you get type deal. You know, if I rolled properly or got super lucky, I could have as much as a 7A power plant on this ship, even though I'm not sure why I would. Because I'm you know, at 80% of the power, even with all the stuff I have anyway. But you know, if I rolled properly, I'd be able to get a 7A power plant, or, you know, 6A shields, or, you know, I'd be able to do all these things. And even with that, the NPCs will still be stronger, simply because even you know, with their power plant at 10%, they'll be able to run all of their systems like the power plant was never even hit. Or, you know, even if their shield generator is hit, or their weapons are hit, like you've seen before. Well, probably not, but when my weapons start getting hit, they start malfunctioning and shooting randomly, or just not working at all, and it becomes increasingly harder as your ship takes damage. As the player's ship takes damage, it becomes increasingly harder to fight back and or get away, and that's why in most cases, you know, I started with some cases, but now that I think about it, in most cases, if you're not prepared for it, taking out an NPC is going to be way harder than taking out a player. So yeah, you know, it's why I go after NPCs, because with the way I run the ship, it's actually a challenge, you know, because I'm not doing what everybody else is doing. I'm not being a clone, so to speak, a mirror or something of what everybody else is doing. Plasma accelerators, beam weapons. You know, I'm not really going for that alpha damage that all players go for. Because I actually want a challenge. You know, if I roll up with all plasma accelerators, or all railguns, or all whatever, it's not really gonna be fun, because it's just gonna be really, really quick. Here, hold on. This is a high-tech place, so let's see if they actually have railguns. Because even though it's high-tech, they might not have specific things. Like, I've gone to high-tech places and they've only had like 3A and stuff like that. It's kind of ridiculous. But you know, with the super amazing loadouts and stuff. Oh, that's right. I can't run railguns. Maybe I can. I don't really want to. As you can see, I have my multi-cannons and my pulse laser there. My gimbaled pulse laser. That's for like combat zones or conflict zones. Sorry, I don't know why I call them combat zones, but yeah. That, you know, I have that loadout for there, and I don't really want to sell my weapons because, frankly, I might end up buying them back anyway. So I don't really see the point in selling them. Ooh, I may get close. I may have to get rid of... Oh. Just barely, 0.8 megawatts, but in all honesty, that's with everything. Is my... Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. I'm looking for something. There we go. There, now I'm under power. I wonder, will it say that I'm under power in outfitting? Or will it still say I'm over? Yeah, it'll still say I'm over. But here, let me go show you the all rail guns. Because the this is kind of like the same. This is the exact loadout I had outside of the gimbaled pulse laser, burst laser I had when I originally got this ship. Because I think I've said it before, but when I was running my Federal Assault ship, this is the loadout I had. Either 2 large burst lasers or pulse lasers and 2 railguns. And I ran it on this ship for a bit because, well, I stopped running it because it overheated my ship after X amount of shots. And when it was such a maneuverable ship, I can keep on the enemy easily, so that I can fire shot after shot after shot. And with my assault ship, even though it was way better than the Vulture, I couldn't do it. Or I could. It depended on the ship. But yeah, like with that last round of hazardous resource extraction site, my shields never went down. So if I actually overheated my ship, I would have done more damage to my ship than any NPC in there would have done. And it's one of the reasons why I don't like overheating my ship, because if my shields never go down, then I'm actually doing more damage than, you know, the person attacking me. Or defending themselves, however you want to see it. And when I first ran this ship, I don't think I was running as many shield boosters as I have. I have 3 shield boosters, I think. I could put 4 with if I got rid of the chaff, and I think I might get rid of the chaff for a shield booster, simply because it doesn't seem to be doing as much as it used to. So, you know, kind of sucks. This is gonna be interesting. Yeah, I definitely want to go after this guy. Simply because that assault ship probably has a fuck, what are those things called? one of those little defense ships. I can't remember what they're called, fighter pilots or co-pilots or whatever you want to call it. And again, even though they're probably gonna be, they're probably gonna be masters or something, and that little ship is gonna do way more damage than it would if a player was flying it, simply because their rank is deadly or master or elite or whatever you want to call it. And the one thing that I like about pulse lasers is not pulse lasers, railguns, is the fact that I can fire once and then just keep holding down the trigger, and it's basically like it's on another fire group. Yep, see, I'm doing more damage to my ship than he is now. Woo! Dodged it. Oh, that one hit me. Ow, okay. Oh, damn, he hit me again. Yeah, dodged it. Damn it. Got him. Like, see, these railguns do a butt ton of damage, but I actually need to hit to do that damage. And now I've actually done more damage to my ship by overheating it than the NPC ever did. And that's the thing that I don't like about overheating my ship, is just how much damage I do if I'm not careful. Ooh, almost. Yeah, I guess the more the... Damn it. I missed most of those. Like, this is a lot easier than with multi-cannons or, you know, all pulse lasers. Probably actually gonna lose a lot of shit here. So I don't know what the hell this guy has. And of course. Oh, whoops. Forgot to drop my heatsink. He is really maneuverable. I missed. Yes, boost away from me. Oh, and I'm overheating my ship. Again, doing more damage than he is. Oh, and not only that, but this is probably going to be like $1 billion to reload. I don't know what this thingy's called, but I'm calling it Clive. So, yeah, Clive Vision. It might be Cleave Vision, for all I know, but I'm calling it Clive. I really wish I could turn this off. I don't know why. I don't like it. Like, that should have been like, you should have been able to buy the data link scanner, not have it forced upon you. But yeah, like, look at all this damage that I did to my ship. Simply because I overheated it, like, what, 3 times? It's fucking ridiculous. And like the thing about having these railguns over plasma accelerators is it won't overheat my ship when I fire it once. Like, if I had either a huge plasma accelerator or 4 plasma accelerators, I'd be able to fire them all at once, at least once. But it would probably overheat my ship. I haven't tried it because, frankly, I don't know. I don't like plasma accelerators. They're too the projectiles are too slow to have a fixed mount. And yes, I know they do absolute damage, and they're super overpowered or whatever if you actually hit. But you know, just like railguns, you actually have to hit them to do the damage. And like, you know, thank you. Again, that's why I like see, 10 grand to reload. That is ridiculous. That's 1/3 of one of my fucking bounty vouchers. But yeah, like if I have 4 muilti-cannons and I can hit 90% of the shots I hit, I can actually do more damage. Granted, it'll be slower, but I can do more damage than with, you know, if I miss, you know, 4 out of 5 shots with a plasma accelerator, or 4 out of, or, you know, like, or get, you know, 90%, or if I, you know, miss 90%, hit 10% with my railguns. I'm just gonna sell these because they were mainly for whatchamacallit, demonstration purposes. And yeah, like, I do like railguns, but they overheat it too much. And granted, if I probably put, like, efficient weapon, like, 5 or something on it from engineers, I'd be able to, whatchamacallit, I'd be able to fire them multiple times without overheating my ship, but, eh. again, I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time and engineers for a ship that ultimately I'm not going to keep very long in the long run. Like, when I get my Corvette, because I will get my Corvette at one point or another, that's gonna be the ship that I'm gonna keep forever. I'm just doing demonstration purposes at this point. Even though, what's the word? Every bounty hunter will tell you that having all pulse lasers and stuff is the best for longevity, you know, for staying in resource extraction sites longer. Hold on. You know, if I mess up and I use a whole bunch of shield cell banks like I, you know, usually do, I gotta come back to the station anyway, so I might as, you know. I want to check the mission board because I'm actually technically, I guess I'm making a decent amount of money, but nope. I just gotta find, like, the only reason that I have this ship is because when I was doing those, how-to videos on combat zones, I was getting amazing amounts of money per mission for those things. I was getting, I think my peak was like 25 million per one of those missions. And that was just for one of them. That wasn't including all of them. Like, I don't think I recorded it, but, one time in a Fer-de-Lance, I had, you know, 3 or 4 of those, massacre missions for the conflict zones, and I got like $40 million. It was freaking amazing, and I did that in like an hour or two. Sorry, I was trying to do something with things. And that's kind of what I'm looking for now. I'm just trying to find a system that has a lot of those conflict zone missions, because they just got me so much money so quickly. I've never gotten that much money that quickly in combat before, ever. And if I really wanted to, I could do passenger missions and get $1 billion insanely quickly, but you know, it's boring. It's basically trading, but with people. You know, you're taking a person from one destination to the next, and I don't know, it's not fun. You know, if I wanted to play, you know, Euro Truck Simulator, I'd play Euro Truck Simulator. If I wanted to play Flight Simulator, I'd play Flight Simulator, because that's basically what these those missions are. It's Space Flight Simulator or Space Euro Truck Simulator. Curse. Silas. Python. I know I haven't had very much luck with pythons, but still. Let's see. Okay, there's an assault ship. There's Diamondback Scout. Or is it an Explorer? Oh, it's a Scout. Okay, so 120 grand versus 81 grand. 120 grand it is. Hello, Mr. Silas. Gonna wait for you to turn. Just simply so you can't target me quickly. Woo! Plasma accelerator shot. Ooh, he hit that one, but I don't think he has a... Yeah, he don't... Ooh, damn. Like, see, I'm actually doing, in my opinion, I'm doing more damage to this guy with my multi-cannons than I am with my railgun, simply because I can hit him more. I really need to get out of his plasma accelerator range. Ooh, that was close. Ooh, I barely missed that one. And see, he's dead. I don't really want to go after a Clipper. I've never had very much luck with them. They're actually pretty maneuverable. More maneuverable than I'd like to admit, simply because I don't like Imperial ships. Dr. Tiki? I don't know. Screenshot. Now which one's more? Python's worth more. 74 versus 64. Ow. Come on, pulsive fire. That's really one of the only problems with multi-cannons is, at least with gimbaled multi-cannons, is they like to fire. They don't really like to track the same way that the other ones do, so then you end up firing, you know, one or two at different rates and all that good stuff. The dropship is actually a really good I wonder, are these guys fighting yet? They are, but I'm gonna go after this guy. Oh yeah, he's closer. His ship is tiny. Whoa, he's got plasma accelerators. Pretty much everybody's running a plasma accelerator these days. It's not really fun. I don't really know if I want to go against this guy, because I only got one shield cell bank. I think I'll go against this guy. What is that? Oh, that's a rock. Yeah, I just had one of those moments. The only thing I hate about gimbal beam weapons or thermal weapons is the fact that they move around a lot. And, you actually don't hit as much as, you do with, gimbal, projectile weapons. So, yeah, that's a thing. Oh, whoops. Just as fucking pain in the ass to deal with as a python. Jeez. Come on, boost, dude, boost. Thank you. I'm just gonna... Chaff. I keep forgetting I have chaff. My shields are gonna go down. Time to head back. It's weird, my shields, when they're down, you know, the recharging thing, the recharging cycle that it's doing now actually takes more energy than, if I was, like, once it's up, it won't, I won't need as many pips into shields as I do now for it to recharge. Oh, it's probably going to take me forever to get over there now because I turned too early. But it's whatever. Like, see, I don't think I'll lose anything out of my capacitor. In fact, I'll probably gain something with one blip into systems. Which I still find strange. Texting and flying. Yeah, I'm actually gaining power in my capacitor. Which is strange. Because, with all the other ships I've ever had, that's never happened. You know, it's always used the same amount of capacitor charge once the shields are up that it did when the shields were down. So, yeah, I guess that was the demonstration of my loadouts and railguns and all that stuff. I don't know what that is, but fuck me, that was ridiculous. Oh, it's that guy again. There's a bunch of ASPs here. I wonder what that ASP is doing here. I don't know. Oh well. That was my escapade into loadouts, how the game works, and all that good stuff. yeah, hopefully this didn't take, you know, as long as the other videos I've tried to record.